future of Trunks. Months later, the Z-Warriors are startled to sense a familiar presence on its way to Earth. Could this power be Goku finally returning home? Rushing to the scene, the Z-Warriors are horrified to discover the source of this disturbance. Frieza and his father, King Cold. Frieza somehow managed to survive the destruction of Namek, and now he and his father have come to Earth in search of revenge. But before they can enact their twisted plan, they are confronted by a mysterious youth. In a bold display of Super Saiyan power, this brash young warrior easily dispatches the evil father-son duo. But who could he be? He is Trunks, future son of Bulma and Vegeta, and he has traveled through time to give the Z-Warriors a dire warning. In 3 short years, a pair of evil, seemingly unstoppable androids, created by the insane Dr. Gero, will carve a path of destruction across the Earth. None who cross this path survive. A painful lesson Trunks has been forced to learn time and again. The world of Trunks' future is a world of fear, a world forced to live under the dark shadows of the cold-blooded android. Few heroes are left to combat the threat. Goku succumbed to a deadly heart virus prior to the android's arrival. Without their greatest fighter to aid their struggle, the remaining Z-Warriors, Piccolo, Vegeta, Yamcha, Tien, Krillin, all fell before the android's awesome power. Only Gohan remained, and it is he who has begun teaching Trunks to harness his Super Saiyan power. Together, the two hope they might still have a chance to defeat the androids and return peace to the Earth.
Hey there everybody, DestroyerX here, and welcome to part 7 of Let's Play Dragon Ball Z Sagas. We have 3 objectives for this part. The first objective is to find the hidden antidote for Goku. The second one is to clear the prototype androids from this section of the city. And the third objective is to confront Android 17. That doesn't seem too hard, does it? Well, actually, the prototype androids, they're a bit tougher than some of the enemies that we've battled previously. So, yeah, it's going to be a little bit tougher, but it's not too bad. Let's see. We are playing as, well, this is actually Teen Trunks. Yeah, Teen Trunks, because he's a teenager at this point. I think he was about 20 when he went to the, when he helped Goku in the past. I don't remember for sure, because I don't keep up with the timeline. I'm sure somebody will correct me, or I can always go to the Ultimate Dragon Ball Z info page that Greg Warner runs. Of course, that page, of course, is part of his other page called the Grand Line, which unfortunately he hasn't updated his websites in years, which makes me sad. But oh well. Anyway, those are prototype androids. They're a bit tougher to defeat. Yeah, I won't lie. I mean, you can still stun lock them. It's just that, I mean, they tend to attack in groups. That's one of the big problems. And one of the best ways you can, of course, battle the prototype androids, of course, is just to blast them with your most powerful Ki Blast, which, of course, for Trunks, it would be his burning attack, which gets annoying hearing him say that over and over again. But watching that preceding video, it made me think of something that I heard about. It made me think of some quote from the Westwood Media /AB group /Philippine dub for Dragon Ball Z: The History of Trunks. And here's the quote by the narrator. Big Green had perished. Vegeta, Yamcha, Tenshin, and Krillin, they had survived. Oh my goodness, that was horrible dubbing at its finest. Basically, that particular dub is frequently referred to by fans of the series as the Big Green dub, because Piccolo is called Big Green in that particular dub, which, oh my goodness, that's kind of bad, isn't it? Yeah, as bad as the Saban Ocean Studios dub was, and as bad as the early Funimation Studio dub was, I don't think I'm going to complain about those anymore, because, yeah, that is horrible. Yeah. So you might be wondering, all two of you, who is Android 17? Android 17 is the twin sister of Android 18. You see, Android 18 and Android 17 before, well, they're more specifically, they're cyborgs more than androids because they're not mechanical based. Basically, they're humans with a few extras. They're technically cyborgs. Dr. Giro, he kidnapped a twin brother and sister, and erased their memories of their past life, and basically enhanced them with some cybernetic implants and whatnot, and they're androids now. The androids. One distinct thing about androids is that androids do not have ki. That's right, androids don't have ki, so we cannot sense them. But then again, it's not much of a problem. Who cares? But yeah, they're basically only in the world of Dragon Ball Z. If a person is flying, either there are a few ways in which a person can fly in the Dragon Ball Z universe, in the Dragon Ball universe. One can fly if they're an android, because androids don't have ki, so they can fly somehow. One can fly if you have wings. And one can fly if you are able to use Bukujitsu, which is basically the flying technique that just about everybody in the manga and anime series pretty much uses. Pretty much Bukujitsu is basically you're basically floating above your own ki, and with proper control you can fly and whatnot. So yes, that is a history of Bukujitsu. And how to fly in the Dragon Ball universe. So yeah, that's fun. Let's see. This part is actually pretty long. I was initially thinking about putting this in part 6, but I decided against it because of the fact that it runs pretty long. This particular part is about 20 minutes long, so I thought, that would make part 6 be about 30 minutes long. No thanks. So yeah, right now we're just still clearing out all those androids right now. This shouldn't take too long. I mean, after all, it's not like this is pretty difficult. Just attack these things. Yeah. One distinct thing about androids is that, since they don't have ki, they can't be sensed, of course. They have Android 17 and his twin sister Android 18, they have infinite energy. So yes, that is awesome, isn't it? Oh well. What can I say? I can be pretty silly sometimes, can't I? I think so. I mean, why not? I mean, there's nothing wrong with being silly. Makes my life easier. I don't really have a lot of silly moments after all, because, I just don't. Not these days. Oh well. But yes, yippee, yippee, yippee. I know this doesn't seem all that exciting, but hey, it's okay. It's okay at all. Oh well. Anyway, yeah, I'm starting to see how some of these game reviewing websites and magazines, how they rated the game as somewhat low, because it gets pretty repetitive after a while, and I mean, that's pretty much about all I can say about it. Oh well. Anyway, what can I say? I'm just a little bored, aren't I? Well, not too bored. Well, I will say, though, that we were about ready to get the antidote for Goku. I don't know why the antidote's in the street, but the antidote is right where that red car is. Right, Nick. Right, see? There we go. We actually have the antidote now. So all we have to do is keep clearing out the prototype androids from this section of the city, and then eventually we can, well, battle Android 17. Yay! Oh well, what can I say? This is just crazy. Of course, one will imagine. Of course, if you follow the anime and manga, there are basically 3 timelines. Yes, we're getting into the Cell Saga, of course. There's the normal timeline, which is the present day. There's the Future Trunks timeline, which is this timeline, and then there's a third future timeline, the Cell that we see in the series comes from. So yeah, that's pretty much about it. The androids in Trunks' timeline, they are brutal murderers. The androids in the present day, they're only focused on finding Goku and killing him. They don't care about. That's their only objective. Beyond that, we don't really see much about their objectives. It is hinted that that Android 17 and 18, especially in the anime, that that their memories of their past lives weren't completely wiped out, because Android 18 enjoys shopping, and Android 17, he enjoys driving cars and going fast and stuff like that, so yeah. Oh well, what can I say? This is just fun, isn't it? This is just a lot of fun! Woo! Yeah, Android 17 and 18, they're infinite energy models, meaning that they basically, even if they're lying near death on the ground, if they have enough strength left to lift their arms, they can still shoot out blasts of energy. Which pretty much means they have infinite stamina, so basically you'd have to pretty much brutally destroy the androids in order to defeat them and whatnot, so yeah. Yes, I did read a little bit of information from the Ultimate Dragon Ball Z info page that Greg Warner runs. In the anime, in the original anime and the manga, they're referred to as, well, not so much the Viz translation, but they're referred to as artificial humans, which is pretty accurate for the most part, because they're basically artificial humans, meaning androids or cyborgs. Like how Android 8, he is technically a, well, you can pretty much call Android 8 an android, a complete android for the most part, because Android 8 has, if I remember correctly, in the anime, he has no memories of his previous life. Although it is established that Android 8 was pretty much a, they pretty much used skin and gave him a robotic shell. It sounds like. I don't remember for sure. It's been a while since I've read the manga for Dragon Ball, and it's been a while since I've actually watched that particular Red Ribbon Army story arc in Dragon Ball. So, yeah. Let's see. I can go ahead and spoil the Android 19 and 20. Android 19 and Android 20, they have the ability to absorb energy through nodes on the palms of the hands. So they can absorb energy, which means ki blasts are pretty much useless against them. Well, in a manga and anime at least. In the game, well, I'll go into that later on, whenever I get to it. I don't remember. Maybe in Part 8, I don't know. I'll find out more about that whenever I actually get to Part 8 when I do my editing for that. So, yeah, I'll get to it at some point. Yeah, let's see. As far as the canon of the anime and manga, the only androids that show up canonically are going to be Android 8, Android 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, and of course you have Cell, which Cell is a biological android, which consists of the cells of many of the Dragon Ball Z warriors. Oh yes, hoo hoo hoo. But here I am buying more combos and stuff. Do I buy the Lucky here? Do I? Yes, I do buy the Lucky. Yay! Do I buy Key Sense? No. Let's see, do I buy anything else? Nope, that's it. So, now we're about ready to encounter Android 17. So, let's hear what Android 17 has to say to us now.
I'm going to get you.
Android 17, he doesn't make any effort of breaking out of my combo, out of my stun lock. So, whether or not he's capable of doing so, I don't know. At some point, he had me locked in a combo, and I was able to break out of his combo which is pretty awesome. But beyond that, you know, I'm pretty much, you know, he doesn't make any effort to break out of my stun locks. He has some pretty massive key attacks, but, well, he doesn't have key attacks. He has some pretty massive energy attacks, because androids do not have key. He has pretty massive energy attacks, so, yeah. But beyond that, if you're able to stun lock him, it's not too much of a battle at all. See, Frieza made an effort to break out of my stun lock. Android 17 is not. I don't remember if he does it later on, because you do battle Android 17 again, and yeah, I'll have to look into it whenever I do part 8. So yeah. But at the moment, he is not making any effort of breaking out of my stun lock. So, yeah. Oh, boy. Right now, I'm still going back and forth between Facebook and my timeline for Avid Studio. So, it's pretty crazy. Yeah, yeah, from what I've been researching is that online, I mean, regarding my videos, I mean, if I would have probably recorded the raw video using a Dazzle, since it's a 4, I could have faked it, and I could have actually faked it to being progressive with my Dazzle, if I had a Dazzle, just using Avid Studio, I suppose, if I would have recorded it that way, but I don't have a Dazzle, so that's why you're seeing the scan lines. Because I remember, because I used to have a Pinnacle Studio 10 Plus, and it came with a breakout box, and I did some test videos with that, and of course I kept many of the videos I did in the original interlace format, but there was maybe 1 or 2 that I actually manipulated to where it'll be progressive, more or less fake progressive, because so they can be viewed on computers without any problems at all. Anyway, Android 17 is getting bored. Well, so am I, because I'm easily stun locking him. So yeah, I understand that. Anyway, the battle against Android 17 is almost over, so once we knock off the last bit of his health, we're going to be treated to another cutscene. And it should be right about now.
After Gohan suffers a near-fatal defeat by the androids, Trunks rushes his injured master back to his mother's underground home. Though his body is shattered and one of his arms lost, Bulma is slowly but surely able to nurse him back to health.
And that takes care of part 7, so tune in for part 8 whenever I post it, and we'll go into more plot and more android battling. So until next time, everybody, ciao for now.